Okay, what's going on everybody? My name is John and today I want to share with you my top 3 tips for successfully importing a variegated fiddle leaf fig to your home in the United States. Now I've had this for a couple months. It just put out its first set of new leaves. So there's 2 new leaves on top there and they are glorious. So I'm really happy that this thing is here and it's actually growing. Seems to be enjoying its home here in California. And I just had a few tips to share with you because getting these to the United States is quite a challenge. Even if you're willing to pay a good chunk of money for them, it's still not always going to be easy. So the first time I ordered one of these, I did pay for the phytosanitary certificate, but it was still taken by customs and destroyed. And so I got on the phone with an agricultural officer at USDA and he was great. He helped me really figure out what was going on with that and how to avoid it in the future. So you can legally import ficuses from Thailand into the United States, but some ficuses are restricted and completely prohibited. So what you need to do is you need to make sure that that phytosanitary certificate says ficus lyrata. Normally, the standard procedure would be for that certificate to just say ficus SPP. So it's just ficus species, and you'll see philodendron species, monstera species, whatever it is. That's just standard agricultural practice. But because some of the ficuses are restricted, when that officer at customs sees that, they are supposed to take that plant and immediately destroy it. They're not going to risk letting some unknown ficus come into the country when it could be one of the restricted ones, and they don't have time to unwrap everything and take a look and then rewrap it. No, so you have to reach out to your seller ahead of time and make sure that they understand that they have to put ficus lyrata on that certificate. So I reached out to a seller, they agreed to do that. The plant came through customs, no issues at all, and I now have this beautiful plant here. So make sure you do that. And a lot of sellers aren't aware that they need to do that because sometimes they're going to slip through the cracks anyways. It might make it through if you don't do that, but technically you're not doing it correctly and it shouldn't be allowed to enter the country, so just don't risk it. All right, so the second tip is to reach out to the seller ahead of time and ask them questions. You got to get to know these people. You want to see how quickly they respond, how much they appear to know about the subject, how much they're interested in actually helping you. You need to get a sense of how interested they are in creating a positive experience for you. So after I had that first one destroyed, I found a different seller. I talked to them. My previous shipment had taken 3 weeks to get from Thailand to California, even though I paid for express shipping. So it's a lot slower than normal due to all the COVID things happening this year. So I talked to this other seller, hey, do you think you can get one of these to me? And they said, well, actually express shipping is taking about 3 weeks right now, and that's really too long for a variegated fiddle, so no, we cannot send it to you that way. But if you're willing to pay for a super express shipping, we can get it to you within a week. So that was great because I knew right away they established that they actually were aware of everything that's going on. They know how things work, and they know that this plant is not going to survive 3 weeks in the mail, so they were absolutely unwilling to sell it to me under those conditions. So that was awesome, and they also offered a different option, although I'd had to pay a lot for shipping, but I got it here alive and it's growing and it was all well worth it for me. Okay, so but make sure you gauge these sellers, and also you can look for reviews on people, but reviews are so mixed. Sometimes it's really hard to know what's true and what actually applies to your situation and how truthful people are being in their reviews. So tip number 3 is to just understand that this is a risky endeavor. So I ordered 3 of these. This one arrived with all of its leaves, and it has grown a ton of roots, which I can easily see through this pot and on the surface, and it's grown leaves. This one's doing really well. The other 2 arrived with no leaves, and they still have no leaves. This one actually, the trunk snapped partly. There was like a little crack in it. So the top of the trunk all died. I just trimmed it the other day. I still have high hopes that there's good things going on beneath the surface here, but maybe there isn't. They are being taken care of the same way as this one, and this one has definitely grown a ton of roots. So I'm hoping these are growing those same amount of roots, just more slowly because they have no leaves to help them out. But maybe I wasted a couple $100. So you have to understand that these plants do not travel well. So you're gonna have to pay for express shipping, and maybe you'll wanna pay for super, super fast shipping if that seller will do that for you. But just understand, it might not go as planned, and emotionally you'll be in a better place if you accept that ahead of time. Now, not to fill yourself with fear, because we want to project positivity and positive expectations into all of these transactions, of course, absolutely. Put as much positive energy into this as possible. But just understand that sometimes things don't work out. And that is why, if you were to buy one of these in the United States, I've seen these sell anywhere from $400 to $2,000. Yeah, similar size to this. There was one that sold for over $2,000 recently, because in the US you don't have to deal with customs and the shipping time will be much, much faster, but you're gonna pay for it. So you wanna get a good deal, you're gonna buy it from Thailand, there is gonna be some element of risk involved, so just make sure that you are okay with that, and then hope for the best. So yeah, I'm sure we could say much more. If you have questions, just let me know. I really wanna help everybody out, because I would love for just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds more of these to make their way into the US so that we can start to spread them around and make them more reasonable and accessible, because it's such a cool plant. It just doesn't like to travel internationally, so it's been challenging to get those really into a lot of homes here in the United States. So let me know what you're curious about, if there's more information you need, and best of luck to you on your search. I'll leave a link for the seller that I went with. I have no idea if they have any more of these or if they will have more in the future. I don't know. You'll have to check with them. But I ordered 3 plants from them. I got 3 plants. One is doing really well. The other 2 are question marks. But we're just going to assume that they're going to explode with growth here pretty soon. And I'll update you when they do. So that's it for me today. Thank you so much for joining me. Best of luck to you and your plants. I hope to see you in the next video.